start with invocation prayer Sahana Bhavatu.
सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
Bhagavad Gita, chapter 11, Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga, the yoga of the vision of the cosmic form. So we'll chant verses 31 to 40.
आख्याहि मे को भवानुग्ररूपः नमोऽस्तु ते देववर प्रसीद विज्ञातुमिच्छामि भवन्तमाद्यम् न हि प्रजानामि तव प्रवृत्तिम्। श्रीभगवानुवाच कालोऽस्मि लोकक्षयकृत् प्रवृद्धः लोकान् समाहर्तुमिह प्रवृत्तः ऋतेऽपि त्वां न भविष्यन्ति सर्वे येव स्थिताः प्रत्यनीकेषु योधाः तस्मात् त्वमुत्तिष्ठ यशो लभस्व जित्वा शत्रून् भुङ्क्ष्व राज्यं समृद्धम्। मयैवैते निहताः पूर्वमेव निमित्तमात्रं भव सव्यसाचिन् द्रोणं च भीष्मं च जयद्रथं च कर्णं तथान्यानपि योधवीरान् मया हतांस्त्वं जहिमा व्यधिष्ठाः युध्यस्व जेतासि रणे सपत्नान्। सञ्जय उवाच एतच्छ्रुत्वा वचनं केशवस्य कृताञ्जलिर्वेपमानः किरीटी नमस्कृत्वा भूय एवाह कृष्णम् सगद्गदं भीतभीतः प्रणम्य। अर्जुन उवाच स्थाने हृषीकेश तव प्रकीर्त्या जगत्प्रहृष्यत्यनुरज्यते च रक्षांसि भीतानि दिशो द्रवन्ति सर्वे नमस्यन्ति च सिद्धसङ्घाः कस्माच्च तेन न मेरन्महात्मन् गरीयसे ब्रह्मणोऽप्यादिकर्त्रे अनन्तदेवेश जगन्निवास त्वमक्षरं सदसत्तत्परं यत् त्वमादिदेवः पुरुषः पुराणः त्वमस्य विश्वस्य परं निधानम्। वेत्तासि वेद्यं च परं च धाम त्वया ततं विश्वमनन्तरूप वायुर्यमोऽग्निर्वरुणः शशाङ्कः प्रजापतिस्त्वं प्रपितामहश्च नमो नमस्तेऽस्तु सहस्रकृत्वः पुनश्च भूयोऽपि नमो नमस्ते नमः पुरस्तादथ पृष्ठतस्ते नमोऽस्तु ते सर्वत एव सर्व अनन्तवीर्यामितविक्रमस्त्वम् सर्वं समाप्नोषि ततोऽसि सर्वः
So there are 6 topics in the 11th chapter, and we have studied the summary of the first 4 chapters, that is up to verse number 45. And today we'll conclude topic 5 and 6. So topic 5 is called Arjuna appeased upon seeing the Lord's gentle form, verse number 46 to 51. So in the previous verses, right from the beginning, he has been seeing the cosmic form. So beginning of the chapter, he tells Krishna, why don't you show me your cosmic form? And Krishna shows that cosmic form. So now Arjuna is telling Krishna, no, I can't take it anymore. So can you resume the normal form, normal human form? We all dramatization. There is a meaning behind all this. So in this 5th topic, there are 6 main points. So what we are going to do, we will read the verse translation of all the verses from 46 to 51. So if you have the book, you can open to that page. Translation of verse number 46. So in my book, it is 718. I think most of you have Swamiji's commentary on Bhagavad Gita. So I repeat, chapter number 11, verse number 46. We'll be reading the translation of topic 5, 46 to 51. So, Charu, would you like to read?
Yes, Amaji. Verse 46. I wish to see you as before, crowned, bearing a mace, with discus in hand, in that same four-armed form, O thousand-armed, O universal form. The 5th topic covers verses 46 to 51. It shows how Arjuna is composed upon seeing the Lord's gentle form. The form of Vishnu with a crown on his head and his 4 arms carrying a lotus, conch, mace, and discord. In the verse, Arjuna pleads to the 1,000-armed
Charu, sorry. You have to just read the translation, verse translation.
Okay, sorry. So I'll move on to 47 then.
Yeah.
Verse 47. The blessed Lord said, by my grace, O Arjuna, this form of mine has been shown to you by my own yoga, supreme, resplendent, primeval, infinite, universal form of mine, which has not been seen before by anyone else than you. Verse 48. Neither by the study of the Vedas, nor by the yagnas, sacrifices, nor by gifts, nor by rituals, nor by severe austerities can I be seen in such a form in the world of men by anyone other than you, O great hero of the Kurus. Verse 49. Having seen such a terrible form of mine as this, be not bewildered, fearless, with gladdened heart you again behold this form of mine indeed. Verse 50. Sanjaya said, so Vasudeva, having thus spoken to Arjuna, again revealed his own form and the great soul, assuming his gentle form, pacified him who was terrified. Verse 51, Arjuna said, Having seen this gentle human form of yours, O Janardana, with mind composed, I am now restored to my nature.
You read 51?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. So there are 6 main points, and the reason we read translation of verse 46 to 51 is now you will know the thought flow as I explained to you. So the first and important point is you can learn or take knowledge only as per your capacity in any field. We are talking in the context of spiritual field, but this principle applies in any knowledge, any worldly knowledge. See, for example, in a college, you may have access to the best teacher, but it's not necessary that each student absorbs the same knowledge because each one has a capacity. Einstein also went to same school, same college. He must have had colleagues, but there is only one Einstein. But all of them, I'm talking about Einstein's colleagues, his batchmates, they must have heard the same professor. Maybe he was the best professor, maths or physics, but there is only one Einstein. So it depends on student's individual personality, his makeup, his constitution, to what extent he has developed his intellect, to what extent he is willing to learn. So there are so many factors. So similarly, when it comes to the spiritual field, you may have access to a wise person, or you may have access to even an enlightened master. And there are two possibilities here. Definitely, you can learn a great deal, provided you are ready. It could be a life changing, life transforming experience. Or you may not learn much, or you may not learn at all, hardly any. So if you're gross, materialistic, and sensual person, and even if you have access to the best of the best teacher, wise person, enlightened master, as far as you are concerned, you're not going to learn much because you're not yet ready. You have too many desires, worldly, sensual, materialistic desires. If you are doubting Thomas, Samshayatma is the word we use in Sanskrit. English translation is doubting Thomas. So if you are Samshayatma, you may not learn anything at all. Or it could be counterproductive as far as you are concerned. But if you are prepared, if you are a qualified student, then it can make a world of difference. See, elsewhere in Bhagavad Gita, I think in chapter 7, he talks about a qualified student who is a prepared student. So he says, if you have devotion, if you are unselfish, and if you have that spirit of inquiry, then you can learn quite a lot. It can transform your life. But point is, are you qualified? And that's what is happening to Arjuna. It's not that he's not a seeker at all. Definitely he's a seeker, but he's not of the level of the Upanishadic student. The Upanishadic students, they had given up everything in life. They had only one desire. I want to merge with the self. I want to find my true purpose in life. No other purpose. So Arjuna definitely does not belong to that category of student. Yes, he is devoted to Krishna. He understands the importance of this knowledge. But the mistake he is beginning to do right now is that he is dabbling in subtle concepts. And he is not ready for that. You need to be relatively introverted, calm, composed. Then only you can relate to subtle concepts. So that's the dramatization. He cannot take Krishna's cosmic form, meaning he's getting too much into concepts of the scriptures which are beyond his intellectual capacity at this moment. So that's the meaning of that dramatization. But so therefore Krishna, he says, okay, I will resume my normal form, no need to be scared. So he doesn't give him subtle philosophy at this stage. But same Krishna, one of his friends was Uddhava. This is the story of Mahabharata, and Bhagavad Gita is part of Mahabharata. So in the same story, after the war is over, after Bhagavad Gita is over, much later, Uddhava was Krishna's dear friend, Uddhava. And he asks Krishna subtle questions. And Krishna gives one of the greatest philosophies, almost on par with Upanishad, because Uddhava was ready. And in some context, Arjuna again he tries to ask Krishna, Krishna, can you please tell me the difference between Prarabdha Vasanas and Sanchita Vasanas? No, I'm just giving you as an example. Krishna doesn't get into any explanation. He says, okay, don't worry about it right now. I mean, you have brand new kingdom, so why don't you take care of your kingly duties? We'll talk about philosophy later. So he avoids because he knows Arjuna is not ready. But same Krishna gives best of the knowledge, highest knowledge to Uddhava. He knows Uddhava is ready, Arjuna is not ready. So that's the significance. And the second point is God principle with which any person evolves, can evolve, Guru evolve. The same God principle is functioning in you. So if you read the translation of verse number 47, by my grace, I am trying to explain that word. What is this grace? What is God's grace? God's grace is universal. Nobody is denied God's grace, meaning that capacity to put efforts to evolve as a human being is not denied to any human being. There is no exception. There are 7 or 8 billion of us on planet Earth. Not even one human being is denied this opportunity. So the same principle, God principle, which in this context means God's grace. So same God principle is functioning in all of us. So it depends on how you use that God principle, how you operate your body, mind, intellect, how you manage your body, mind, intellect. You can use body, mind, intellect to gather more desires, become more worldly, more sensual, more materialistic, or even you can do something negative, harm others. Or same body, mind, intellect you can use to purify your personality, to reduce your desires. So that direction in which you want to go, that capacity is in your hands. And without God principle, you cannot function. You cannot operate body, mind, intellect. Body, mind, intellect cannot function. But how you manage your action, your emotions, your thoughts, that is in your hands. So therefore, God's grace is universal. It's not partial. You may feel it is partial because you have denied that grace to yourself by your own deed, by your own actions. You may choose to be in the basement, dark basement, or you may go on a patio and open your chair and bask in the sunshine. So who told you to be in the basement? You're in the basement and you are complaining, oh, the sunshine is preferential. No, it's universal. Nobody is denied that opportunity. So, what we learn from this is God's grace is universal. That's what we are talking about. That if you're not evolved at this stage on the ladder of 1 to 10, we all are somewhere. So, don't have to worry where you are. So, let's say somebody is at level 2, you can go right up to 10, which is a state of enlightenment. That's the capacity we all have. So if you're not peaceful right now, you're going through some mental trauma, stress, worry, anxiety, it's a question of more or less. Don't worry too much about it. Yes, understand what is happening to you, but it is important to understand that you can steer your life in any direction at any stage of your life. Now, you can go in a negative direction and mess up your life and the life of people around you, or you can end up becoming the most divine person. So, nobody is denied that opportunity. So, that's the meaning of that sentence by my grace, by God's grace, which is universal. And there are many interesting stories, See, just as Mahabharata is a epic, Ramayana is another epic. It's nothing but a story. Now, in this context, there is a character called as Ahilya. She was a very virtuous lady, beautiful lady. And due to whatever she did, she was reduced to a stone. She was cursed to be a stone. She got that, her husband gave that uh, bane to her, that because of what you have done, may you be reduced to a stone. It's all symbolic. And she was in that state. She was a stone for a long time. And when Lord Rama visited her, she was living in an ashram, and he stepped on that stone, and suddenly she turned into her original form, Ahilya. So these stories are okay for people who cannot think, they don't understand the knowledge aspect of it. So therefore, it works. If you are cursed, this will happen to you. So there is nobody can curse anybody. There is no bane or boon. Nobody can give you a boon. You are punished by your own actions, not for your actions. I repeat, in life, you are punished by your actions, not for your actions. Similarly, in life, you are rewarded by your actions, not for your actions. So, whatever Ahilya did, by her own actions, she was reduced to a lower state. Stone meaning she became a very tamasic person. From a state of evolution, she was a relatively evolved woman, virtuous woman. But whatever she did, she indulged in something which she shouldn't have done. It can happen to all of us. Suddenly, we may fall into some kind of a bad habit, or some negative desire may overpower our personality. But even if it happens, you have the capacity to come out of that. That's the point. So she had fallen to a very low state. Stone symbolizes a very low state of human personality. So even from that state, the tradition goes that she became an enlightened person towards the end of her life. So it depends on what direction are you taking in life. You may be going in the positive direction, but some desire may overpower your personality, not necessarily negative. Could be some desire which is not in line with your spiritual growth. And you may slip into that frequency. You may get attached to something. It could be name, fame, power, family, or anything. But also, you retain that capacity to bounce back. Why? Because God's grace is universal, it is always available. That capacity to put efforts, nobody can take away that capacity from you. But for layman, we use the word bane and boon. They can't understand this explanation, so they're scared. If you do something, God will curse you. Okay, let me behave myself, or God will reward you. Okay, let me try to be a better human being. But any intellectual person will not buy that. What God? Where is He? Give me the proof. It doesn't work. So scientific explanation is you are punished what? Your actions. Fill in the blanks.
By your action.
You're punished by your actions, not
For your actions.
for your actions. You are rewarded, fill in the blanks.
By your action.
Not.
For your action.
So it's clear. And then in verse number 48, he makes a contradictory statements. Neither by the study of the Vedas nor by yajna. Yajna means unselfish action or selfless action. Nor by dhanam, charity, nor by rituals, nor by severe austerities can I be seen in such a form in the world of men by anyone other than you, O great hero of the Kurus. So he's a staggering statement he's making. And intentionally, such seemingly contradictory statements are made so that we should start thinking. So far, he has been telling us what? All these chapters, up to chapter 11, that you evolve spiritually, you reach the state of enlightenment. How? You need knowledge, you need to perform selfless actions, you need to be charitable. Devotional people, they may need rituals or singing or whatever, and you have to live a life of austerity, simple, frugal life. This is what we have been saying for last 10, 12 years, those who have been attending these lectures. Now he says, forget about all that. You're wasting your time. You cannot evolve spiritually. You can't reach the state of enlightenment by knowledge. Then why do these classes? Next week, Vijay, send an email. No more classes. Why? Because it's what Krishna is saying. And we are talking about retreats and whatnot. It's a complete waste of time. Not according to me, according to Krishna. He says you cannot reach enlightenment by knowledge. By selfless actions, there is no way you can reach there. If you are doing some charity, you are a charitable person, you are a giver, he's saying it's not going to help you. If you are devoted, you want to go to a temple or a church or any place of worship, he's saying you're wasting your time. But sir, I'm frugal, I'm simple. You're wasting your time. So intentionally such statements are made. Contradictory statements are made so that we should start thinking. And unless we think, we cannot stretch our intellect. And unless our intellect is developed, we cannot manage our mind and mind's desires. So therefore, they want us to pause and start thinking, stretch our intellect. So coming back, the main message here is you have to do spiritual practices with the understanding they are means to an end. If you get attached to spiritual practices, then it tantamounts to creating another set of desires. Yes, you need knowledge, you need selfless action, you need to be charitable, you need to cater to your devotional aspect, you need to live a life of simplicity and frugality. It goes without saying. But per se, it means nothing. You may do all these disciplines, you may follow all these spiritual practices, and you may be doing it as an end in itself. Then it defeats the whole purpose. You are just creating another set of desires. There are a lot of people who are charitable. Why not? It's a great quality. But they may get involved in that charity itself, that act of charity. So you're just playing with higher set of desires. We are just creating another set of desires. So mind has a tendency to get attached to anything, including spiritual practices. So he is giving that warning that understand that spiritual path is means to an end. And if you get attached to the spiritual path, you will remain in ignorance. You will remain in the terrestrial. And we often quote this verse from Isavasya Upanishad, Mantra 9. I think most of you must be aware of that mantra. That Andham tama pravishanti ye vidyamupasate tato bhuya ivate tamo yau vidyaya rataha. Those who worship avidya, ignorance, enter into blinding darkness. But those who revel in Vidya, Vidya meaning knowledge, spiritual path, spiritual practices, enter as it were into greater darkness than that. It's a very famous verse. If you get attached to the world, how can you evolve spiritually? We all understand that. But if you get attached to Vidya, spiritual path, spiritual practices, he says you will go into greater ignorance. So it's a warning given that use spiritual path, spiritual practices as means to an end. If you get attached to the means, how can you evolve? Then you stay put where you are. Why you stay put? You are just playing with another set of desires. Mind gets attached to those spiritual practices. So that's the nature of mind. My mind, your mind, everybody's mind. So that warning is given in Isavasya Upanishad, Mantra 9. So same thought flow. And also there is a caution, there is a warning to all the seekers. If you read the next verse translation, which was already read by Charu, having seen such a terrible form, why is he saying terrible form of mind? As this, be not bewildered. Fearless with gladdened heart, you again behold his former form of mind indeed. So when he says having seen such a terrible form, meaning renunciation, contemplation, meditation is not designed for spiritual initiate. Now, who is a spiritual initiate? Any person who has got a lot of desires. How can he live a life of renunciation? How can he contemplate on the reality? How can he meditate? So renunciation, contemplation, and ultimately meditation is designed for advanced seekers, meaning it depends on the number of desires you have offloaded. So if you don't understand this, you could get into serious trouble. And a lot of people, it is happening to them. Straight away, they want to plunge into meditation. Nobody can meditate. Meditation is not a practice. Meditation is the effect. When bulk of your desires are gone, automatically you become meditative. Before meditation, there is contemplation. Are you contemplating on supreme reality all the time? Is that your mission in life, only mission in life? For that, you have to live a life of relative renunciation as opposed to a life of extroversion. See, I joined Vedanta Academy, our ashram in India, in 1997, almost 29, 30 years back. So I'm talking about what happened in 98. So there was one family from Bombay. They were Swamiji's devotees for a long time. And in my second year of the course in Vedanta Academy, they moved from Bombay to a house near Vedanta Academy, and that time it was absolute wilderness. There was not even one grocery shop. If you had to buy grocery, you had to go 5-7 miles. There was very famous hill station called as Lonavala. And Swamiji told him many times, I don't know, 10 times, 15 times, that don't do it. You're not ready for it. you're following spiritual path in, you're the well-known, well-to-do businessman. Why do you want to shift with your family? And very affluent family. They used to live in South Bombay, which is like Central Park, Manhattan area. So that kind of affluent people. And from that to, it's like, I don't know how to explain it. Somebody from Central Park, you plant him in Gaylord in North Michigan. It's beautiful. You can go there for kayaking and all that. But where is Central Park and where is Gaylord? There is no comparison. And they came. He came with his wife and his family. Kids used to go to very famous private school in Bombay. From that school in Lonavala, another town, there is no comparison. So to cut the long story short, but it was my second year, and they used to come for meals, to have meals with us every other day. He was so frustrated in the fifth or sixth month, why did I come here? Why did I come here? I wish I had listened to Swamiji. I used to tell him, why don't you go and tell Swamiji? He was ashamed to admit that, Swamiji, I made a mistake. Swamiji would have told him, I told you, He would have, of course, and in the seventh or eighth month, he went, we say, Vikram is his name, Vikram, please go and you have to talk to Swamiji. Swamiji said, it's okay, you made a mistake. So you were not meant for this kind of life of, it's not total renunciation. He was not living in ashram, in a house nearby. But from Central Park to Gaylord, that comparison you can use. And nothing wrong with wilderness, but are you ready for it? So therefore, he's saying the terrible form. I mean, he can't handle that renunciation. Extroverted person cannot handle that. So he has to take into account his or her desires and work on yourself. In future, you could be ready. Why not? But at this moment, don't make that mistake. So therefore, we are saying renunciation, contemplation, meditation is meant for people who are introverted. It's not meant for extroverted. So you need to work on your desires through spiritual practices. And then one day you will be ready. So slow and steady wins the spiritual race. So this is one example. Another interesting example is I was in India for 6-7 weeks, and I consulted one sports medicine doctor, lady doctor, brilliant she is. So first time somebody could diagnose what's wrong with my shoulder, the frozen shoulder going on for a long time. And the moment she saw me, she asked me two questions. Did you ever had an injury when you were young? I said, yeah, at the age of 19 in the gym. I fell with a huge weight, And second question she asked me, are you playing any one-sided game? The moment she came to know I'm from America, she asked me, are you playing pickleball? I said, why pickleball? And I said, no, I don't like that game. To which she said, you'll be surprised to know 50 to 60% of her patients, they come to her due to pickleball related injury. In India also it's becoming very popular. America, every other person plays pickleball. She said, like, usually people in their 50s and 60s, they get into pickleball and they play aggressively. And it's a one-sided game. She said, you have no idea that the amount of injuries they are getting into. Nothing wrong with pickleball. If somebody's playing, I'm not trying to scare you. You may play, but you can't play that game beyond your capacity. Terrible pickleball game. There is no such thing. So, are you ready? Is your body fit to handle pickleball? So, are you fit for renunciation, contemplation, and meditation? So, these two examples I can think of. And if spiritual practice, if it is compatible with your nature, then you progress on the spiritual path. See, we have been saying it repeatedly, and we will cover this when we start chapter 12 next week, right in the beginning. this portion comes, that you need to find out what is your personality. Are you active? Are you emotional? Are you intellectual? And only after understanding your personality, you have to take to a particular spiritual path. So there are three spiritual paths, traditional practices: Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga. Path of action, path of devotion, path of knowledge. Every human being needs all three. But requirement depends on your personality. Somebody who is predominantly devotional, you can't give him knowledge. Somebody who needs action, you can't tell him the life of renunciation and contemplation. It doesn't work. So it's extremely important to understand your spiritual requirement. It's like medicine. Medicine is prescribed based on your medical report. You ask any doctor here. And once he understands your condition, what you need, the medicine has to be right, and also the dosage has to be right. So what Tylenol you give to an adult, you can't give it to a child. I mean, what will happen? I don't know. I mean, extra strength Tylenol. Bill uncle, if you he is a well-known doctor, extra strength
Yeah,
Tylenol, if what will
extra strength
happen?
Tylenol. Yeah,
Hmm?
for a kid it will be too much.
It will be a disaster.
Yeah,
Renunciation, contemplation, meditation is extra strong Tylenol. Is it a right dose or a wrong dose? For who? Is a question. If you're an adult, that's what you need. If you're a child, maybe a small portion of that you need. So that's the meaning, that once Arjuna sees Krishna's normal form, he's relaxed. So once you practice spiritual practices based on your requirement, then it is that's the right path for you. So when you program your spiritual practice properly, you are composed. You feel comfortable, you're peaceful, and you're satisfied, meaning you're on the right track. How do you feel when you eat right quality and quantity of food? The comparison. Raji is the right person to answer. Thanks to her husband, he's become like a teenager. I mean, I don't know how much he lost. 100 kilos he lost. I'm magnifying. I can't even see Vijay on the screen. And he used to love to eat. I mean, I've seen that transformation. So how do you feel when you eat right quality and quantity of food as opposed to when you stuff ourselves? This happens to all of us. You go to a party and just you stuff yourself. How do you feel? Horrible you feel. As opposed to when you have a light meal, leave some space in your stomach. So apply the same formula. So if you are following spiritual path as per your requirement, you feel there is contentment, there is peace, and incidentally you progress. So these are the main points in 6 points in topic number 5. And the last topic, topic 6, the way to reach the supreme being. It's a short topic, verses 52 to 55. So Charu, can you just read the verse translation of 52 to 55?
Yes. Verse 52. The Blessed Lord said, very hard to see is this form of mine which you have seen. Even the gods ever long to behold this form. Verse 53. Neither by Vedas, nor by penance or gift, nor by sacrifice can I be seen like this, as you have seen me. Verse 54. But by single-pointed devotion, I may be seen like this, O Arjuna, and known in reality and entered, O Parantapa. Verse 55. He who performs actions for me, with me as supreme, is devoted to me, free from attachment, without enmity towards any being. He reaches me, O Pandava.
So there are two or three main points. It's a very simple topic. So what Krishna is saying in essence, that to achieve state of self-realization it's not easy. Don't take it lightly. That okay, in few months or maybe couple of years, I can reach the ultimate. He's saying no, it's not a joke, and he's saying this to all of us to raise our standard, not to demotivate us. See, I repeat, what Krishna is telling the entire humanity, it's not easy to reach the state of enlightenment. One in a million or perhaps several generations reaches that state, though it is within the grasp of our within our capacity. All of us can do that, but it's not that easy. It's like you want to join the Marine Corps, and the instructor there, he sees all like, recruit somebody with a long hair, somebody with funny tattoos and all, but they are sincere. And he's telling them it's not easy to become a Marine. Now, what is the answer? Yes or no? To use that example, Marine, the Marine instructor is telling all the recruits, boys and girls, they have gone there. He sees uh, 400 all weird characters there, but they are sincere. And he tells them, you want to become Marine? Yes, sir. All of them, they say, but it's not easy to become a Marine. So is it easy to become a Marine or not?
No.
What's the attrition rate? If you look at the statistics, it's not easy. So if you are ready for it, it's no big deal. No, if you are committed, if that's what your focus, that's what your mission in life, you can. And there are so many Marines which are coming out, but there's so many dropouts are there. So why it is not easy to attain the state of enlightenment? Forget about enlightenment. Even to improve yourself as a human being, to climb the ladder of spiritual evolution is not easy. Also, it's not difficult because of two main points. The first point is mind's nature is to get attached to every aspect of the world. That is my mind, that is your mind. So mind has a tendency to get attached to any object or a being of the world. You start a family, you get attached to family. My wife, my children, my grandchildren. There's nothing wrong with family. It's your obsession. That's the attachment. You get into a profession, you get attached to a profession. You start business, you get attached to business. You earn money, you get attached to money. You get power, you get attached to earn power, you get attached to power. So that's the nature of the mind. So mind has a tendency to get attached, enmeshed, entangled in the world. And you keep on creating more desires. This is what is happening to most people. Even sincere seekers, this applies. It's a question of more or less. And the minority who take to the spiritual path, they get attached to the spiritual practices. We already discussed, and he is again reminding, neither by Vedas, nor by penance or gift, nor by sacrifice can I be attained. Two verses back, he said the same thing. So there is a reason behind that. Most people, they are not interested in spiritual path at all. Those who are interested in spirituality, they get sucked into some or the other aspect of the world. So they don't really progress. But there are minority, a handful of people who are genuine, who are sincere. So there is a great danger of such people getting attached to the spiritual path itself. So therefore, he says it's not easy. You have to be objective right from the beginning in the spiritual path. You must use spiritual practices to reduce your desires. They must be used as means to an end. And as you offload your desires, as you start offloading your desires, you reach a state of renunciation, then you reach a stage of contemplation, then you reach a stage of meditation, and meditation culminates in self-realization. The entire focus is on preparation. And it's not easy. It's like winning an Olympic gold. Yes, there are so many athletes who win, but it's not that everybody can win an Olympic gold. So you need to maintain your focus on the ultimate goal. See, that's the last verse number 54 and 55. But by single pointed devotion, I may be seen like this, O Arjuna, and known in reality and entered, O Parantapa. So, yes, you can reach the ultimate state. So, you need to maintain the focus on the ultimate goal. And that comes by your own focus, by your own conviction, rather. That why I have to focus for the ultimate goal. If you can't relate to the ultimate goal of enlightenment, I want to become a better human being, which is good enough. Self perfection, self improvement culminates in self realization. 100% perfection is state of enlightenment. So you don't have to worry. Okay, at this stage is like rather too much for me to think of the ultimate goal. Whatever your spiritual goal is, you have to have that conviction. Why am I following this path? Why am I attending these classes? Why am I reading this book? So once you have that conviction, you need to stick to that conviction. And you may slip into worldly attractions once in a while. So it happens to all of us. So at that time, remind yourself of your ultimate purpose and ultimate goal in life. And just drink some warm. Yeah, sorry about that. I think I underestimated the weather last 5-6 days. Here is March 10-15, but the weather is still big time sub-zero. So maintain focus on your goal. It may be ultimate, it may be relative. And when you slip into worldly attractions, remind yourself of your ultimate purpose in life, your goal in life. So not to worry too much. So what a mistake I made. I slipped, I became indulgent. Okay, as long as you understand that you're making a mistake. But for that, you have to have a goal. And then he gives the test. Okay, if you say you're doing everything correctly, so how do you know you're on the right path? Identification with all beings. So you can't bypass this. You may fool yourself. Yes, I'm very disciplined. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Great. I mean, why not? But what is your level of identification with all beings? Sarva Bhutata. Throughout Bhagavad Gita, he uses this. So you ask this question to yourself. It's not for me to comment. You must look within and find out. Are you, to begin with, are you identifying with your wife, first of all, or husband? It's not easy. To get married is easy, but to identify with your own spouse lifelong. First 6 months of the marriage, everybody identifies. That's not the point. Whole life. Start from there. Do you feel one with your colleagues? Do you feel one with people who may not subscribe to your views? I'm not saying you subscribe to their views. Let them have their own views. Even if they are wrong views, it's okay. But do you have any feeling of animosity towards such people? If yes, then yes, I need to correct myself. Again, there is no need to punish yourself. Fine. At this moment, I feel if somebody opposes me, negative feelings come out. I need to correct myself. To what extent you are identifying with other beings? Are they not children of God? So you find out and you compare yourself against this parameter. So therefore, he drops that. No, I won't use the word bombshell, but in a way, it is a bombshell. that like the tough test, you know. And then he says, such a person gains self-realization. He reaches me, O Pandava. Meaning anybody can reach that state, provided you do ABC. But that last test is very powerful. And you will see that in chapter 12, where he talks about who is a devotee, who is a bhakta. He gives 35 qualities. And the first quality itself is Vyashekana, Advaishta Sarvabhutanam, one who does not hate any being. And so-called devotees, they are destroying the world, busy fighting the war right now with each other. This is a state. It could be me. I'm not pointing finger at anybody. I may say I am a devotee of whoever you want to follow. Doesn't matter. The bottom line is only one. Do you identify with fellow beings? Most 99.99% so-called devotees fail that test. They're far from devotees. In fact, it's all the way around. So when we do chapter 12, you will study this in detail. So that concludes chapter 11. And from next week, we'll be starting chapter 12. And again, it will be verse by verse study. So we'll chant. If you have the book, end of the book, we always chant when chapter is over. You can go to that last page. Om Tat Sad Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita Supanishastu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishnarjuna Samvade Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga Nameka Dashodhyayah. Translation is Om, that is real. Supreme reality is only real. Thus, in the Upanishads of the glorious Bhagavad Gita, the science of the eternal, the scripture of yoga, the dialogue between Shri Krishna and Arjuna ends the 11th chapter entitled The Yoga of the Vision of the Cosmic Form. And tradition is we always chant the first verse of the chapter to indicate that our study is not done. In fact, we are beginning the study. So we humble ourselves.
अर्जुन उवाच मदनुग्रहाय परमम् गुह्यमध्यात्मसंज्ञितम् यत्त्वयोक्तं वचस्तेन मोहोऽयं विगतो मम.
So there are two announcements. It will take us a few minutes. Jigar.
Yes. Hari Om. Firstly, as announced last week, registration for the Northern Vedanta Michigan retreat is now open. You should have already received an email with the registration details. If you are planning to participate, we kindly request that you register as soon as possible so that the logistics can be planned accordingly. And secondly, we will begin the study of chapter 12 of Bhagavad Gita next week. For those in the Detroit metro area, this is a wonderful opportunity to attend the class in person. The classes will be hosted at Vijay and Raji's residence, and we can share the address upon request. If you plan to attend in person, please arrive and settle down by 9:15 a.m. so that we can begin the class on time. For those who are unable to attend in person, you may join online as usual. Thank you.
Yeah, Vijay and Raji, can you just raise your hands? Vijay? Where is Raji? Yeah, so they are hosting the class. So they have created a beautiful basement in their house. They have spent a lot of money. So it's almost like our like a mini center. Since we don't have our own place as of now, that can be considered as our mini Vedanta Midwest center. So they live in Troy, and it's open to whoever wants to come and attend in person. It's a nice experience. We do it like few times in the year. So it's a hospitable door. That's what I can say. All right. So see you next week and have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you,
Amitji,
Amitji. Hari Om.
Amitji, two people have raised their hands.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Yes.
Claudia.
Hi,
Yes.
Claudia.
Yes, hi. So I've been participating for about 2 years right now, and when I can, but I'm trying to be here most of the time. And I am interested in dedicating a part of my house too. If I'm in North Carolina, um, if it's possible for people to come in and be in person to listen to the teachings that you offer, and Gautamanji as well.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we can definitely. I appreciate, first of all. Thank you so much, and we can look into it. So, Radha, why don't you just connect with Claudia, and we can see how practical it is, and something can be done. Maybe we can have some like one lecture in North Carolina to expose your people. Something like that. We can think about it like a public lecture or whatever, or some talk,
Yes.
mini retreat, half-day retreat or something. So we can plan. So thank you so much. So Radha, please connect with Claudia.
Thank you.
Yes, Claudia, you can just message us to study class at Vedanta Midwest with your information,
Yes.
and we can connect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So
Thank
Radha
you,
will
Radha.
connect with you. Yeah. Thank you. Yes, Robert. Yeah, you have to unmute yourself. No, can't hear you, Robert. Yeah. No, not able to hear. Maybe take out your headphones. It's connected to that. Unplug headphones.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. First of all, I wanted to say thank you for the teachings today. I really appreciate them.
Welcome.
Also, I was wanting to know if I could get more information on the coming up retreat.
Yeah, sure.
Via email. I do have my email associated. I'm new at this, so I'm definitely interested. So I want to know more.
Yeah, sure. Jigar, why don't you connect with Robert? I'm sure you do. You get email, this class notifications you get?
I did get the class notifications. Yes, I did get them.
Okay. And what is your email? I mean, it starts with Robert only?
No, it actually starts with Wilkie.
Jigar, why don't you give your phone number to him? Anyone else?
This is Rochelle. I have a question
Hi.
about today's lesson, and I'm sorry to keep you guys late, but it's so, as far as identifying with somebody and like being able to, as part of like enlightenment, being able to identify with everybody on where they are on their path.
Yeah.
Just after I identify with somebody that maybe has hurt me or that has like it's okay to I identify where they are on their path, but I still remove myself from them. That's okay, right? Like to just like decide that that's no longer for me. I no longer want that in my life, but I see where they're at. I have compassion for them. I wish them well, but because of the betrayal or the hurt, it's okay to walk away, right? And that's not
The love for yourself.
See, something like this. I mean, let's say you have a dog as a pet. I'm just giving you as an example, right? And if that dog goes rabid, you love that dog dearly, right? Since he was a pup, you brought him up and all that. But if he becomes rabid when he's 7, 8, would you live in the same house? You can't. You have to separate yourself, right?
Yes.
The only thing is, don't call a dog mad and kill it. That's the only caution I would give.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. I'll see you next week.
Right. Okay. So yeah, see you next week, all of you.
Thank you, Amitji. Hari Om.
Thank you.
Hari Om.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Miji.
Hari Om. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.